Think we're good to go. There we go. Let me move some stuff around here on my part and excuse me. There we go. All right. Hey, Cape Cod. Hey, Smoking Loaf. I hope you guys are all doing well. I haven't had a member stream here in a minute, or I guess 2 weeks now. So I thought we would take this time to go over some Bitcoin and a bunch of different stocks here for the next week. A lot of what we're going to be doing is if, what's, or buts, basically. What happens if this goes down? What happens if this goes down? What happens if this goes down? Because we're going to do some basic technical analysis set up for the week. But you guys know that since CPI data is coming out pretty soon, and sorry, Loki's over here. Since CPI data is coming out this week, all of our technicals could just be just shot pretty much in a short amount of time here. So we want to make sure that you guys have, or I want to make sure that you guys have everything set up for a nice week here. So first of all, we'll start off with Bitcoin. Sorry, Loki just heard me talking. He's going wild right now. He's definitely having a fun time. Calm down. But basically here, let's make a Bitcoin go on a larger chart. Let's put this pane down here. Let's put this pane down here, and let's go full screen right here. That doesn't make too much of a thing. It doesn't have a problem here. Okay. All right. So basically, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, we're still not looking at anything really different. Dude, you are gonna try to crash my computer by pushing all these buttons on my keyboard. I just made some really fancy toast and he really wanted some, but I didn't let him have any because he ate a whole loaf, or half a loaf, without my permission yesterday while I was streaming with you guys. He stole half a loaf off the counter that was cooling off. And so I've been in a non-treat friendly mood with him today, and he's been begging for treats. But anyway, going back to Bitcoin here, we're still looking at that support level around $21,500. I'm hopeful that we can continue to try to hold on to this, but we need to have a big boost probably before or after Tuesday, before Wednesday morning, I would say, in order to actually get a good solid move off of that CPI data. Really what we want, our short-term goal here is for a bullish move, is not to just hold the 21,500 levels, everybody. It's really to get back above this 20-day moving average and start moving back up here towards $22,000, $23,000. If we can do that, we have a good opportunity of trying to retest this $24,000 and get back up here to this larger resistance level around 25,000. I think a lot of people were expecting it to actually originally get back up here towards 25 and then pull this same type of move where we're coming back down bit by bit. But I think what ended up happening, again, is we talked about this a few weeks ago. These earnings have a much deeper impact than I think people actually understand. And again, just because of Apple, Google, and Amazon, we really just stalled out here. Not crashed, not gone, to zero. We just pretty much stalled out. And what really hurt us over the past few days was the real big momentum shift that the market was perceiving between Google and Microsoft. Microsoft has a huge market cap, so does Google, with this new chat GPT thing that Microsoft is going forward with, and the kind of botched delivery of this BART, Google's AI system. It really kind of cratered Google stock, like a small cratering, but it still caused it to come down quite a bit. And that did drain on some market caps here. So overall, guys, as we kind of do this technical analysis today, we're not in a bad spot just yet. We need to continue to hold this 21,500 level over the next couple of days. If we start showing weakness there, that's when things get a little bit more unpredictable and a little bit nastier, okay? One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as Bitcoin is concerned right now, I did a video or a short about this, I believe, earlier. You can see the death crosses are starting to come on the 4-hour chart right now. I'm not really a fan of seeing this. However, we still have an opportunity to try to hold these levels. At worst, maybe we come back down here to 20,500, but if we do, that's really just not going to bode well for the rest of the week, okay? Because by then, you're going to have the 20-day moving average. This is a 4-hour chart, but the 20-day moving average actually coming back down below the 50, and that's just going to make things just a little bit more unpredictable and not as friendly, okay? One of the things I want you guys to do for your Bitcoin charts right now, forget about the indicators. You guys know what indicators these are. I think some of the Lux Algo ones, and I have the squeeze ones over here as well. If you guys have any questions about them, let me know, and I can just tell you how to do it right now. So short term, I want to see us break out of this downtrend. I'm not really expecting anything crazy to come up. I just want to see us go sideways or up, breakout, but I don't really care about us going up just yet. Really, in the short term, though, again, out here, this is Friday, or this is Sunday, excuse me. Tuesday is right around here. Tuesday, we could have a big move that takes us back up to 22,579, possibly a breakout there. If we have a breakout there, I'm definitely going to be buying it and scaling out, probably starting around 23,500s up here. and then hoping that we can try to get back up to 25,000, 24,000 and a half, okay? So that's really the goal at this point in time, okay? But as far as Bitcoin's concerned, it's still kind of what we've been talking about. Sideways action, not the end of the world, but you do see that weakness there, and that's not what we want to see. Hopefully, even though we're having these death crosses here, some decent stuff could happen on the daily chart as well. Again, we just want to hold these levels to give us enough time to see if the CPI data is going to be good for us. That's the breakout. And you could take that same thesis to Apple, Microsoft, any of these tech plays that we're going to be talking about. We want to see that rebound there, and we want to see that strong move on the upward side, okay? Now, Golden Cross is still good. Tomorrow, as far as Sunday, tomorrow we're going to be locking in this death cross here. Not what we want to be talking about, but honestly, at this point, the good news is we've never seen this before, so we don't know necessarily how bad this is going to be. Part of me in my soul feels like if we didn't have the FTX disaster over here, everybody, we wouldn't have actually made new lows for the year. I honestly think this were the lows right here back when Celsius was going down, Voyager was going down, everything was going down as far as exchanges. This was probably going to be the yearly low for us, and we would have been going more sideways. But because of the FTX scandal, it really just demolished any support level that we had. We found a support level down here that really didn't match up with much of what we were looking at. So it didn't really match up with any of the GAN boxes or anything like that because it was such a massive event. Nobody knew how to deal with it because everybody flatly just panicked. And a whale literally had to come in here and put up a strong wall to kind of support the price action here because whales being whales, they kind of think for the long term, oh my God, we're at 16,000 Bitcoin. You better believe I'm buying some up, right? So I think even with this death cross we had on the 20-week chart, even though we did come down a little bit, I think we would have had an opportunity to actually break out because you see right here, maybe I can go to the daily chart for this one. Let's remove all that other stuff here. Before we ended up having the FTX disaster, we were breaking above moving averages. We were having a golden cross and we were looking pretty strong. So where we might have been trying to go back up here towards 22,800 levels, you know, just back up to this resistance level, nothing too parabolic, but we should have been doing fine. And I think one of the reasons that we ended up only getting back up here to 24,000 is partly because we kind of, the extra room is kind of what we lost down here. Now that's just a hypothesis. There's no proof of that right here. But so far, guys, I'm not too concerned about the market. I still think we're in a decent mood, and I'm really encouraged to see what happens. I'm really excited to see what happens on Tuesday. When CPI data comes out, that's the big thing we need to be looking at. So let's go over here and start looking at some other things. If you guys have any questions on stocks, options, or crypto, let me know, and I'll stop talking about whatever the list I'm going to be working on, and we can just break down what you're looking at, whether it's earnings or any news you guys are looking at as far as corporations, okay, or crypto. And hey, Discount Killer, welcome to Sapphire level. Hey, Hannah, welcome to the Ruby level. And hey, Echo Pink, welcome to the Ruby level as well. Hope you guys are doing good. Loki has been a brat. Yesterday, I told you guys I had made some fresh bread, and I told you guys I was loving it. It was really good. Well, while I was streaming with you guys yesterday, he went upstairs, and I had like 4 loaves cooling. 3 loaves cooling. One was already in a plastic bag. He stole a whole loaf and ate like 3/4 of it. While I was streaming with you guys, and he came downstairs and even got snacks and bread. So I'm upset with him. He knows I'm upset, but he's still playing and wagging. He's like right here, right now, just looking at me. Hey, Loki. Yeah. So he still loves me, but I'm giving him little looks because he took a whole loaf of bread, or yeah. Well, the rest of the bread I couldn't use because he literally was just like chomping on it. But yeah, he's doing fine. And hey, Discount, you want a big crash again? What you're looking for if you want a big crash, whether it's for crypto or well, anything at this point, right? Stocks, other asset classes, you're really just looking for that CPI number to come in hot here. That should really have a big dampening effect on most tech plays, most cryptocurrencies. Because maybe I can go back over here to the weekly chart very fast. Remember, basically what's holding us afloat here on a very basic technical level. Make this thicker for you guys. What's it called that'll pop on the screen? Orange? That pops enough. Yeah, really that 21,480 level, that's what we're trying to close above. And so far, we're in a good opportunity to do that. We have 20 hours and 50 minutes left. We're in a good spot, man. The concern really goes to a lot of other altcoins out here. You see Ethereum, we're kind of in this trading range. Everything that we've been talking about over the past few days here. Get rid of all this other crap. You know, both Bitcoin and Ethereum broke down below that level there, but we were able to close above it, right? So we didn't, we showed some weakness there, but we were able to close. We still want to stay above these levels here, but unlike Bitcoin, that the 50-day moving average is kind of further away, just a tad, Ethereum's is a little bit too close for comfort. So I'm watching this very closely because when I see moving averages this close, like the 50 or the 200, even if we have a golden cross right there, which is good news for us, if for whatever reason we have a bad day, and this, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, well, boy, we could have a really bad day for Ethereum where we break down below both moving averages. Now, you guys know my rule. 8 out of 10 times, 8.5 out of 10 times when we do break above a moving average or below a moving average, it tends to be very large depending on the situation. You can see right here, we had a decent move here, not big. This was the big move. See how normally we'd actually just break out and do one massive move like that. Over here, nothing but here, nothing. Big move breaking down, decent move breaking up, big move breaking down, big move breaking out, small move, small moves, weird small moves here, which is confusing. But big, medium, big, right? So you get the trend here. So my concern is that somehow if we have a really bad CPI report or it's just harder than expected, you're going to see Ethereum probably come all the way back down here towards $1,400 or so, which is only like $130 away. But again, that's about a 12% down move, and that'd be really, that would just suck, right? Maybe if we're looking a little bit more optimistically, maybe we just want to see it come back down here 10%. But that next support level, it really isn't anywhere close. And that's the problem because, I like to trade Ethereum more than a lot of other stuff. But if we take a look at this, we're in that resistance level right now where most people are going to be scaling out, opening shorts in a typical market. We're not doing that right now just because of CPI data coming out. All the technicals I'm showing you guys, they're going to be complete blowouts whenever this news comes out. We're either going to crash below these technicals or break out. So, you're going to have a trading up, buying opportunity or selling. But it's going to be risky to even try to hold positions right now for swing traders out there unless you're confident in which way you think the CPI data is going to be going. So if you think it's going to be lower than expectations, you want to buy right now and you just want to hold whatever happens, and then come Tuesday, boom, you better play that like crazy and have some fun with it. There's been more murmurs, I guess, of people thinking that the CPI is going to be hotter than expected, which kind of symbolizes more of a stickiness, more rate hikes, longer inflation, the economy not being as good, the uncertainty that we've all been talking about, discount. But we'll have to wait that out. But you go back over here to Matic. Again, Matic is back up here into this resistance zone as well. It was unable to actually close above this resistance level. It got super close, like really, really close. But it did manage to get back up and give us a nice new resistance level for like a premium, I guess. But we were unable to close above it. Still doing okay. My only concern, and you guys know this about these coins that go up a lot higher than everything else, they tend to come back down quite hot as well. But for now, you can see we've broken down out of this trend. It doesn't mean we're crashing at this point because we didn't really technically break down through the day out of it. Today would be the first day we actually close underneath the trend, I think. Maybe this one. We'll have to see. This isn't too precise right here. You consider this one over here. I would say this is just more breaking into a sideways trend, and that kind of matches again of what we've been seeing for the overall market, right? Everybody's getting prepared, everybody's placing their bets, and everybody's just kind of waiting. Well, after they place their bets. Okay. But as far as Matic is concerned, oops, I did something I probably wasn't supposed to, but that's okay. There we go. We're at that high zone here. I don't feel any need to buy right now. I'm basically just doing some day trades and just chilling. Go over here to the 4-hour chart. A lot of sideways action. You're seeing those trends slowly get back down. Last death cross here wasn't too much, but now the 200 is getting a little bit too close for comfort as well. So by the time this comes on Tuesday, that's going to be the big make or break moment. So, I'd probably be shorting a lot more stuff, honestly, at this point than I would be longing it. But I don't feel comfortable shorting until we have a confirmed breakdown as far as Bitcoin. And Bitcoin and Ethereum are both holding those support levels that we just talked about. You go over here to Dogecoin. Dogecoin's still trying to hold some support levels here. Really, this 0.077. We're not even close to that one right now. On the 4-hour chart, we already had the death cross. We're about to have another death cross here. Dogecoin's nice and volatile, though. And again, see what happens when you break down below moving averages. This is typically what I'm looking for, although not like we had to break down below 2, which is pretty darn crazy. But now, again, we're going back into this trading range, which is perfectly fine. The 200 daily moving average is here as well. Again, I'm not too concerned. But again, just, I keep on saying it again, but so many times when you look at these coins or look, their charts look pretty similar, a different type of breakdown right here, different type of breakdown. XRP at support, trying to hold a different type of support, because you guys know I could move this level a lot, like to there. Most people are probably going to be using this one right now because we've had a nice breakout. You can see this is a possible continuation trend, and then from there we start to break out, test out 42 cents and come back up here to 43. If we get up to 43, I'd probably sell unless we had some really blockbuster CPI, because typically this thing doesn't really boom too much. Like this is back here in June. This is last summer, right? This thing has just had a really rocky thing as far as XRP is concerned. Same with, Link, right? Not as many rebounds where you think of like a, Matic. Boom, you see that? You can see the difference right there. My head's not blocking it, hopefully, yeah. STMX, not the same right there. This is a low market cap coin though. Sheeb, more sideways action with some really nice pumps. Litecoin, definitely ripping up over the last few weeks here. Ethereum Classic, definitely not the same here. But Ethereum Classic is one of those things that's in Robinhood, and you can see the big move there. Ethereum Classic, unfortunately, did break down here a few days ago. Not the end of the world here. Really, the big move that'll happen is if we break down below that 50-day moving average there. But this is one of my long-term holds because it's on Robinhood, as you know. But you can see everything. Solana had a pretty nasty dip down, broke down below the support down here, and now we're just testing out, waiting to see what's going to happen on that 50-day. Because again, when these things rip up so much and they just don't have any solid support level, that's where you got to be careful. Now, if I was playing with this, I guess there's probably some Fibonacci level here that's a level of support, yeah. But I'm not going to focus on that too much at this point, just because, again, we're waiting to see what happens Tuesday. Let's see right here. And hey, and yeah, I know you talked about this the other day at 21,400. This is the support level we were just talking about a few minutes ago. I'm really curious to see what happens going into tomorrow. But tomorrow, I'm hardly going to be watching the market, so I'm going to have to put some alerts on and have it on my phone, because tomorrow morning, I'm waking up, I'm going on a walk with Loki, I'm taking a shower, I'm doing some yoga, and then I'm going to go pick up some wings from Buffalo Wild Wings as I pre-order them, get everything ready for the Super Bowl, get my TV hooked up because it's like 75 inches or 77 inches of pure, 4K Ultra HD Super Bowl perfection. And then I'm just going to chill with Loki and drink some beers, have a couple friends over, and just, enjoy the Super Bowl day. I need to take my break from the markets every now and again, but I feel like tomorrow is going to be such an important day overall that, after the Super Bowl is over, I'm just going to come over to my computer and be like, hey, what's going on with Bitcoin? Is it still above this number? But if you're right and we actually hold this level here on the 21,400, this is going to be a great opportunity for you guys that want to buy. Right now, I still don't feel an incentive to buy, and that's mostly not because of the technicals here. It's mostly because I'm afraid of what's going to happen on Tuesday. I don't want to take any unnecessary risk as far as that's concerned. I'm still of the mindset that I want to be day trading. If you guys go over here to Bitcoin, you can definitely see, just looking at the moving averages, the short-term trends have started to shift in the other way. And I know some of you guys have been liking those videos I've been doing as far as indicators on TradingView. Let me get rid of this one. Probably best to do Super Trend. The Super Trend just had its first sell signal in a while here after a really nice little run. You don't have to sell, a short based off of the information, but it's just telling you, hey, the trends are shifting, or most of you guys have probably used the whole sweet indicator from today. And if we change this over here to colors based on the trend, you can see it started to turn red back over here, and that's where people have been trying to short. Over here, it actually gave a short signal as well, although I probably wouldn't have done that one just because basically we were at that resistance level and we hadn't actually seen a breakdown yet. This is the first one, like over here, is once we broke down, I'd feel more inclined to short. But again, CPI data, but you are seeing we're still in the red right here. So let me get rid of this now though. Let's hide that one there. Now, as far as stocks are concerned, before I go into stocks, let me scan and make sure nobody has any questions about a particular stock. You were playing SQQQ calls last few weeks. It's an inverse leverage play. I sold my calls on Friday for 130% profit. Thanks for the SPY dump. That is good. That is really, really nice, my man. When is the CPI Tuesday? I've got an inch. Got you right there. Evening, all. I watched your whole sweet video. I found the indicator yesterday before I saw it. Ironic. What do you call it? It's a pretty fun one. You got to make some adjustments to it, but I think it gives you just a general idea of what's going on. Most people don't use the whole indicators or the whole moving average. I don't use it too much, but the indicator itself to me is a little bit better than just the whole moving average. So if I go over here and I just do whole moving average right here, and probably for this one, let's just do a chart. Let's match it with the 20. Let's do a red line and let's just make it thick. That's the whole, right? It's almost like a very, it's like almost like an EMA, a teamer, right? You can see how it's changing the trend before the 20. So you can see the trend is shifted. It's just a little too close for me. I want to have more confirmation, right? This is less reliable, but you can already see the trend is shifting. For most of us, I think we could assume that we could kind of imagine that line just in our heads by looking at this chart here. I can't imagine the 20 as much as I want to. These ones where it's kind of really tight to the price action, I can be like, oh yeah, we're leveling off right here. And that's why I normally don't use the DEMAs or the TEMAs, because if I change this over to maybe a DEMA here, oh, not DIMJA. Here, let's go with the DEMA and let's add this to light blue. Let's do 20. You can see how it's pretty similar right here, following this line a lot more than the regular 20. Or you could go over to a TEMA. But even the HMA, I mean, there's like the exponential version of the HMA or the whole moving average. There's like a TEMA version of it, right? The triple. I can do one more here just for the fun of it. TEMA, triple EMA, and you go over here, and again you go to 20. Oops, sorry for hitting the microphone, everybody. A white line. And there you go, right? And you can see the TEMA kind of matches along with the whole right here. Very similar, very similar. The whole is just a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more weighted, okay? A whole different calculation though. But as far as I'm concerned, like if you go to the 50-minute chart and look at it, whole is matching a little bit more, showing that shift just a little bit before. Maybe the TEMA is showing the shift just a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. All right, I'll go back over here to the daily though. So let me get out of these. But what I like about the actual whole suite one is, now this is the daily one, right? So this is the daily 20 here. If we go over here and we changed up some of the settings, so they're not the standard settings. But you see how it says HMA, THMA, and EHMA? I can shift them up a little bit if I wanted to. So TEMA, change the slight EMA, a little bit different, right? EHMA, excuse me. It all depends on what you guys are going to look for, but you guys can also change, hey, what's the source? Are you guys going off of lows, highs, opens, channel plots, a whole bunch of different stuff, right? Dochian triple ribbon plot, I'd probably say close because that's just the standard, but some people just go for the lows, right? See, it changes a little bit here. Probably best to show you guys on maybe a 1 hour chart, the difference. So you can see how we shifted to red here off of that false signal right there. Move this behind me. Let's move this to a regular HMA. And so you guys can see the sign, the signal started right here. Move this over here and let's go to the, so this is the low, this is the close. It really does take up a large part of the screen, doesn't it? There we go. Let's go to high. And you can see how it adjusts stuff ever so often, right? Yeah, there you go. Here's one right here. Again, not the biggest movements because overall a lot of the stuff is gonna be the same. Right? Oh, that one's not. Oh, yeah, a different time frame. Second multi, yeah. This would be working out. No? I don't really use these ones at all. So, channel. Oh, I think I probably need those indicators actually set up on my chart right now. Do I have the ribbon? I think I have a Dochian ribbon. Probably not. Okay. So back over here to close. HMA. There we go. But yeah, it's a really solid one. I've seen a lot of people like to use it for day trading personally. That's what my friends have used it as. So you can see right there, trend is green. Wow, look at that. Maybe it's a buying opportunity. Oh, maybe you guys want to buy and you'd still be making money if you bought it right around here. Right here, there's a false signal though, so that kind of made some sit in this. So it's not perfect, but that's the general gist. You see right here it turned red. Wow, that was a good one. Turned green over here, that was a decent one. Red right here, uh-oh, not the right one. But again, what'd you have? You had a support level down here. Usually you're going to be looking for breakdowns or just the red right here followed by golden death crosses. Red, death crosses. Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Instead of it going into golden crosses here. But no, this one actually wasn't terrible. Red right there. See these little flash ones? That's what you got to watch out for. That's where your basic understanding of technical analysis. It stops you from getting trapped in these small moves right here. Let's see. Yeah, another red one right here. But see, even it popped up right there. So you would have had to try to short right here. Most people would have got stopped right there. So even that one didn't work out. So it's, you know, understanding what's going on. That one worked out. That one worked out. This one did not work. Oh, actually, this one did work out, but it was a big old trap. So worked out. Didn't work out, I would say. Worked out a little bit here just from that. Worked out here. Worked out there. 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 Didn't work there. Worked out there. Worked out there. Didn't work. Didn't work. Didn't work. Didn't work. See, this kind of choppy stuff, it doesn't like the choppiness. But if you get some volatility in there, usually it's okay. Maybe a 1 hour chart would probably work a little bit easier. Yeah, worked there, worked there, worked there, worked there. You have an opportunity to make some money if you short right here, right? The opportunity is what you're looking for. Yeah, the 1 hour seems to be a little bit better than the actual 15-minute chart. So you test it out, you see what it works out with. And this is only on Bitcoin. You would have to test this out for each individual indicator out there. But usually you want to do Bitcoin because Bitcoin's the one that kind of controls most of the altcoins out there, right? Let's get rid of the whole suite though. Okay, what I can add right now is probably the SR channels. Let's go to the daily chart here. Just show you those basic levels of resistance and support going on right now. That way when we hop onto some of these stocks, you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. And I'm happy you're using the Echo. Let me know if you have any questions on it. And if you guys have any questions on any of these indicators, whether you want me to make another video on them, let me know. Because I kind of bunched them all together in different stuff, and I kind of tried to explain them a little bit separately, but, you know, blend them together. But I'll be doing videos on each of those indicators one by one. I guess they're probably only going to be like 5 minutes long. But basically, how to use blank or how to set up and use blank with a trading strategy involved. Like I just did with there, but, you know, more concise, more straightforward in the video form. See, and hey, discount, you can't use BitGate due to the region lock. Where can I play crypto leverage now in the United States? Right now, Binance US is one of the big options out there. Besides that, I would say, well, BingX, you should be able to do it on BingX. Give BingX a try and see if there's a lock on it. I haven't had a problem with them, I don't think. They're a sponsor of the channel, so I should say that. They're like, you know, check them out. But I like their platform. I haven't seen a lock on it, though. But I know some people that like live in New York and Texas, sometimes they don't have the ability to get into certain exchanges. So I would try BingX then. They have a link to it down below. Other than that, I would just go with your typical KuCoin. KuCoin's also a decent one there, but I don't know if, again, if you're like in New York or Texas, it may have a lock as well. Can I look at Target? Yes, I can, Ghost. After that, we'll come back to Apple. Or if any of you guys have any specifics you're looking at, let me know. All right, let's go to the daily here. Yeah, it definitely got rejected off of that resistance level here, coming back down to the equilibrium. Really just to this choppy zone right here. There's nothing too wrong with, nothing too bad about that. Resting on the 20-day moving average. Really, not one time that we've come back down to the 20-day moving average here have we really had a hold off of it. I'm trying to look back at it. We didn't hold here. We didn't hold here. We never really, no. We didn't hold here. We didn't hold here. I mean, I would be surprised if we held this time, Ghost. At this point, like, we're just trying to, test it out right now. Probably sometime later this week, we'll probably be around 165 as far as target's concerned. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, ever since that earnings report, we've just never had much luck with the 20. We didn't hold here. We didn't hold here. We didn't hold here because we still closed below it. Yeah. There was some other type of support level there. Yeah, we just don't typically hold this 20-day moving average here. So I wouldn't put much faith in it. Maybe more around here as far as the 200 daily moving average is concerned. Let's back up here to the weekly just a little bit as well. We closed back down below the 50 after just having a really nice breakout, didn't we? I would say as far as target's concerned, if the CPI data is just okay or bad, I would say over the next month or so, I would say that we're probably going to go back into this trading range back down here between 150 and 160, possibly back down here to the 140s or so. But to me, it doesn't feel like the economy is just that bad, as we were talking about over the past few days. So in the short term here, you can see how there's like a cluster of support right there. I think we're going to have that same cluster. Whether it's Wednesday or Thursday, I would say that's probably the best opportunity for us to break down below that cluster based off of the volatility that's kind of coming up based on the CPI data. So if you wanted to play the CPI data here, because that's how you're going to have to do a lot of the trades today, I would say you'd probably on Monday want to look for some 160 strike price puts. There's no earnings coming up, right? Yeah, the earnings aren't for a while. 160 strike price puts that expire 2 weeks, so not this upcoming Friday, but the Friday after that, and see how much they cost. And then once we break down below that level, that's really what I'd be looking for right there. But I wouldn't be, I wouldn't try to hold them until next Friday. I'd probably just get rid of them sometime Wednesday or Thursday after we get the CPI data report. That way we see how bad everything's going to be. But again, that's a risky bet just because we don't exactly know what those CPI numbers are going to be. Coming downward though, you can see that we did have a breakdown, unfortunately, and you can see we've been coming down after that, holding that 20. Our next level support is probably going to be around this 165 range over here. Yeah, right around here between 167 and 165. I probably would say 165, though. I don't trust that 167 is going to hold because once we break down below that 20, there's nothing really there. Yeah, we tried to hold this for 3 days. Fourth day broke. Maybe down here at 165, perhaps if you do that 160 strike price put option play right there, you could be looking at let's see, 165. Yeah, maybe you don't go all the way down to 160. Maybe you just look for 165 for 2 weeks out. If you want to go 165, I'd probably say just have it go to Friday, but that's going to make it even a larger bet as far as what happens with CPI data. But I bet it's going to be a lot cheaper here, especially as we kind of go into the CPI report. Just make sure that maybe you have a hedge against it. Let's go over here. Make sure I can sip some of my ginger tea. All right, let's go with some historical flow. We don't want just what happened Friday. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're fine right there. And I want to see. Let's see if there's any aggressive flow. Really? Looks like there's not much flow here as far as this is concerned though, because most of the flow it looks like right now is bearish, but not by a lot. So let's see what we have. This is from March. There's a put 165. That's kind of around what we're talking about, but that's, again, about about a month out now, month and a week. 33, 119, 2024. Nobody's really placing any bets for the CPI week. Maybe they're all kind of too afraid to make that bet. But the way I'm looking at these, looks like some of these are probably just hedges here. So this is the only unusual one, and this one's from March 3rd. These calls cost around like close to $500 a pop. Or, $493, but you times it by the 100 there. 246, 180 strike price calls. Why are they thinking that this is going to go up? Yeah, there's not. Here, hold on. Yeah, they bought these calls at $493 and the price is currently around $355, so they've already lost quite a bit of money just holding on to these suckers. I think this might be a hedge because I'm looking at this and yeah, this is another way of looking at it. They bought it down here. I don't know if you guys can barely see it. I'm sorry guys. I know it's not that large. They bought it over here when target was around 173. Target's down to 170, and the value of that call has gone down a lot. This put right here, 317. When was this bought? This was bought on the 10th, so this was bought just yesterday. This one was bought on the 6th. Yeah, okay. So we're not going to know how good that one's going to be for a while. We can check to see, though, what has happened throughout the day as they traded it. So this one's been pretty much even here since they bought it. Yeah, the price action's been pretty much even as well, hasn't it? Okay. Yeah, so I would say for Target, long term, you know, over the next few weeks, I'm still banking on it. Really just continuing on this trend and probably taking a pit stop around 160 to 165. The best strike price I could think if you want something a little bit cheaper, 160. If you want something more moderately priced, around $200, $300, probably looking at that 165 range from there. But the bet you're making isn't really that the technicals are going to continue to trade in this range. It's more of CPI data being very hot and that dumping the position, and therefore you're making a bunch of money off of that dump and then just getting rid of the position, probably like a 50% scale out the day after CPI data comes out, or a 50% scale out the day of CPI once it's announced through the the early parts of the day, or then you just get out and you can kind of see where the rest of it goes, but at least you've locked in that profit. On the other side, if you want to see a call here, I'd probably say do a 180 strike price call back up towards this resistance level and hope that you can see how big of a pump it only took 3 days to get back up here. It wasn't like a lot. You'd be hoping for some really good CPI data bouncing off of the 20 going until tomorrow. Tomorrow bouncing off of it, because it's not like we don't bounce off it every now and again. We just don't. We usually hold it as it's coming down. But with CPI data coming out, anything can happen. The bounce play up here, and then you're probably going to be hoping for a 176, 178 level to be hit over the next few days after CPI, and you can sell out there. To me, I'm okay with doing a hedge and doing either or, because you are going to see a lot of volatility here. Make sure the implied volatility isn't too high on these ones, though. That might kill you during CPI reporting. But if Monday we manage to hold the 20, maybe that's an opportunity for you to enter a call. But again, if you're entering there, it's not off of technicals. It's what you think is actually going to happen with the CPI report, and that's kind of a toss in the air. But without the CPI data, I mean, man, oh man, are we just kind of trading in this weird range over the past few weeks, right? Or past few months, excuse me. Ever since we came down here back in May of 2022, it's really just been sideways for Target. Right here. Thank you. No short-term hold. Thank you. I'm doing short-term options mainly. Maybe because Bed Bath & Beyond will declare bankruptcy. I mean, it's getting closer and closer every day. It seems like they're finding ways to stay afloat barely, but it seems like they're closing stores every single day as far as Bed Bath & Beyond. See, hey, I've got an itch. Oh, sorry. Hey, I've got pink. Sorry, I'm missing messages here. It's been going down. Can I take a look at Uber real quick? Yeah. I hate Uber's logo on this thing. Weekly chart is the best for this one, actually. If it's going to load. No. Nothing's loading. No SR channels? Okay, we'll go to Smart Money Concepts. That's okay. Oh, it's doing some really long... Oh, I always forget how short this chart is for this one. That's what it is. If I go here... Okay, that works out a bit. Okay. No, I don't think we actually need that one. Nah, might as well. It'll help you guys see what we're talking about. I can't keep on zooming out like that. All right, so as far as Uber's concerned, it actually had a pretty nice move over the past few days, it looked like. I'm assuming part of what happened was... Yeah, part of what happened was the bad earnings report as far as Lyft was concerned. I think that's what killed it here. They are different companies as far as how they generate revenue, so maybe it's not going to be hit as hard. Let me go over here to the daily chart very fast and just see if the earnings... Yeah, because the earnings already happened. They were fine. Okay. Yeah, I think what really happened there is Lyft just didn't have a good earnings, and I think it impacted Uber's earnings just a little bit here, as well as the whole market going down. 15-minute chart very fast, hitting some short-term supports like everything else. Okay. Regular trading hours, back to the daily. Okay. You can see that. You can see this zone right here from here. Make sure my head's not blocking anything. I would say over the next few days, we're probably just going to run back into that 20-day moving average here, coming back down towards $32. That's about $2 away from where we are right now. I'm not even gonna probably have, no, which one is this? There we go. I would say at this point, I really don't feel a need to be trading this. If we have some type of solid breakdown, that might make me a little bit more interested from here to here to here. That's where I'd probably want to do that trade. And you can see at the same time, I'd probably be breaking back down below that, that 20-day moving average right here. Was there any actual resistance level there? It looks like right back over here, we hit around $37. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So if CPI data is bad coming on Tuesday, I think it could drop all the way back down here towards $32.5. I don't think we're going to break down below this unless the CPI data is like just bad, but like really, really bad, if that makes sense. I would hope that we can actually try to bounce back above this one more time here, just because it did have a positive earnings report, I believe. Shift back up here. Yeah, we beat expectations. It was like a 287% surprise, apparently, after like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Okay, put this back down here. Let me see if I can find something here. It's still squeezing, but it's losing momentum. That makes sense. I wouldn't want to be holding this right now at all. When you see the momentum shifting, still green there. So really the only support we really have right now as far as just basic trends are right there to right there. I would say this. If the CPI data is just okay, like we were talking about before, or even as bad, I think it comes back down to this overall trading range that we were just talking about, the same with the last stock as well. With a few different pivot points in here, whatever. But I would say it most likely comes back down here to the $30 range. And that'd be a $4 drop. It's not like it'd be the end of the world, right? But from a percentage standpoint, that would really hurt. That'd be bringing you back around 13%. I think 13% is actually within reason here. I'd be surprised if it came back down to the $20 level anytime soon here. But I could definitely see as the market kind of trickles back down just a little bit here, as we're kind of hitting all these resistance levels, I could see us actually making a move back down here to $30. From there, if you wanted to buy a trading range, that's what I'd be looking for. I think we did something similar to this Fibonacci extension tool over here a few weeks ago. And you can see breakout there, some resistance there, some resistance there. We're able to break out. Didn't manage to get up there. I wonder if I change. No, this isn't going to make a difference. Yeah, that's not going to make a difference there. Where did I? Oh, yeah, I probably didn't. I'm not using the right one, actually. No, this one's pretty similar. There's that stop point there, but yeah, we really didn't really hit that. We just gapped up, gapped up, gapped up. Yeah, I had a really fun time because of those earnings. I would still say we're probably going to come back down to the $30 range. Let me see if I can actually pull up one of these indicators here very fast and just go with the divergences. We've had a few divergences so far. Nothing too bullish, though, except for when we back down here, which just makes sense. First one right here, first one right here. 4 hour. Got one stochastic. Not really too bad here. I think it's just because of that gap up we had the other day from the positive earnings results. I would say unless we have a really good CPI number, I would try to buy this back down here around the $30 range. I'd be surprised again if we managed to come back down here, but this is going to be more of a sideways trading move for me. Not as much as Target, I would say, but I think Target would most likely go back all the way down to that trading range because services, defensive. But as far as Uber, this has more of a tech feel, I guess, is the way the market perceives it. So I don't think it would actually crash as much. I think it might just come back down here to the $30 range, and I'd be perfectly happy to buy around there. I wonder. What happened on this one? On the high side here as well. Yeah, I could see us coming back down a little bit more. Nothing too crazy, but just back down to $30, $32 even. $31.50 to $28 pretty much. Probably more in the middle, though, around that $30 range. I feel like the S&P started a topping process way because of CPI, but the memes started popping. A lot of stocks, I feel like, put some local blow off tops like Netflix, Nvidia. Well, yeah, like here. Let's look at the indexes here for a couple minutes, guys. We can start off with the Dow here. This is the daily Dow. I don't have any moving averages on, just so you guys can see the general shape. I'll put them back on in a little bit. Let's go back to the weekly. We broke out a long time ago, like back here in November, as far as the Dow Jones is concerned, and we've been going sideways ever since. Everybody's hoping that this is over and we can pop up, go higher, because whenever you see people talk about the news, usually they're just talking about the Dow Jones and how big of a move that's been having, right? As far as this is concerned, you know, we had a weird little breakout system, but it hasn't really been generating anything again, because why should it? Go back over here to the moving averages. Not much good stuff has been happening ever since this golden cross. We've just kind of gone up, and those don't really last too long. Let's see what I can pull off here. Usually I don't care about the squeeze indicators here as far as like the release, but you can see we're still squeezing at this point, and we're losing momentum fast. If anything, it's more bearish as far as the Dow Jones is concerned. Looking at that support level there, we already broke down here, and if you're, for those of you guys that like to trade off of, hey, we broke down, let me gather position. At this point, you'd be just sideways. There'd be no reason to actually hold throughout all that nonsense that we've experienced over the past few months. As for the Dow, Nasdaq, not different story, of course, right? Back over here to the weekly chart. Still running up against that resistance here. I just don't see how we break out above this until the economy actually becomes good. And everybody keeps saying the economy is good, and I just don't feel that it's good. Nothing on the monthly, I think. Yeah, nothing really there. Maybe over the next few weeks, if things get bad, we just come back down here towards 32,600. That's about like a 1,000-point loss, a little over that. And, we try to hold the line there, especially since we have the 220 and the 50-week moving averages there. But if we start to falter as far as the Dow, that's when we start coming back down here to below 32,000, excuse me. And you see somewhat of a market panic as far as what the day-to-day news stations are going to be talking about. The NASDAQ never even hit that resistance level right here. It hit this previous one from over here, right? Back over there. And it looks like we're still trying to break back down here. Go back over here very fast. We're already finding ourselves back at this support level here. We had the golden cross. It just feels like if we taking away the CPI data, it feels like we just want to go back into this general trend of going sideways here, where we have some really good rallies, we come back down, we give a lot of it back up. Like even this rally over here, we gave a lot of it back in a short amount of time. And then we have another big rally up here where the news is shifting left and right because Jerome Powell says this, the Fed says that, the economy, the job numbers say that. And it feels like we're just going back into that cycle where everybody's getting a little bit more afraid again. And if the CPI numbers are not good, we just start coming back down to this middle range down here to this lower range. Probably not the lower range, but somewhere around there. And I think that's just going to be the story of the day for a lot of these assets here. Going back to the SPY, again, we ran up to some resistance, whether you're thinking about this one up here to these ones over here, or this just one over there. Maybe if we go to the weekly one, yeah, it makes it a little bit easier to see. But again, at the same time, it looks like we just want to continue going more sideways here. Even if we break down, I'm not expecting a massive move that takes us to new lows. Because, again, the numbers haven't shown that we deserve to be at these levels yet. But the numbers also don't show us that we're supposed to be up here yet either. So you never know how wild the market's going to be, guys. But at this point, I can still see the SPY. I expect the SPY to break down sometime late February or early March. And then for us to come back down here and test out these lows again around 376, it looks like. But not really come much lower unless, again, we have some really bad data out there. We don't have a Fed minutes next month. I think the next one is April. So we don't have to really worry about interest rates going up or the thought process around all that. We just have to hope that the job numbers, the economic numbers still stay positive. They're not good right now, but they're not nasty. Some are actually really nasty, but that's for another time. There we go. Back to SPY, yeah. Daily, though. Yeah, like we're in a really good spot. We just have to hope that the CPI numbers are going to kind of take us in the right direction here. I feel like we're due for a pullback more than just what we saw this week. Again, the CPI numbers are going to kill any like technical analysis we do on this type of stuff. But yeah, for a lot of these different, like here, hold on. I think this is a better way to show it to you. Instead of going through the indexes, right? Maybe the daily chart was good. Apple running up into resistance levels, chilling and going sideways like a lot of other stuff. Microsoft blasted through that resistance level up here because of the ChatGPT news and people saying, hey, I better get into Microsoft because they may overtake Google. That's kind of what happened there. But again, came back down a little bit more, right? To me. Netflix still going more sideways after the last couple weeks, but this had a really strong move, especially because every single time they have the earnings or what's been going on in the news, I don't know if you guys have been watching TikTok or anything out there, but Netflix is cracking down on these other accounts, and people think that people are speculating on how much money they're going to make. So again, they had a really good rally, but part of that rally is the fact that they, that they crashed, honestly, right? So people are jumping back in. Same thing with Facebook, right? Tesla, back up here into this level of resistance, getting rejected off right now, but not having a massive rejection, just going sideways. That's perfectly fine, right? Amazon as well. Amazon was something interesting because we had a earnings report that was like thought to be good at the beginning, then it was really, really bad at the end. Came back down to earth. This one's probably an okay level right now. Definitely not overextended like everything else. MU ran into resistance. Nvidia pounced back up after, again, a really crazy crash. Coming back down around 70% or so. Definitely having a decent rally. Ran back up into some resistance around here. 230, yeah. So running up into some resistance, but again, just chilling and going sideways, nothing too crazy. AMD, same story. Actually, this one, not too much of a resistance, a little bit over here, but not much. Just a good earnings rally, nothing too crazy there, but coming back down to earth bit by bit. Facebook, really good earnings that popped up like 20%, ran straight up into that resistance levels up here, and now coming back down to earth. Facebook's probably going to come back down here to 153 over the next few weeks, and it's going to be brutal for the people holding that one. Avgo, resistance level from way back over here. Again, just not crashing, guys, just coming back down a little bit here to test out the waters. I think everything is basically just waiting for CPI, and if CPI is good, all these resistance levels we blast through them, and we see some crazy good levels. And that's what kind of sucks about all the technicals right now, because and without this inflationary market that we're kind of seeing, or this inflation drama that we're seeing, whatever you want to call it, people would actually just be exiting a lot of positions right now and expecting the market to go back down. But because the CPI numbers and the Fed minutes numbers, rate hikes are so crucial to seeing which way the economy goes right now, even though the economy is kind of in the shitter right now, as far as you go outside, everything's more expensive, tons of people living paycheck to paycheck, businesses going out of business every now and again, right? So, you're seeing that uptick right now. A lot of people have more debt than ever before. People are defaulting on cars a lot right now, defaulting on houses a lot right now. Even though the economy is not necessarily what you would be calling it like in a good spot, the market is just perceiving what's going to happen after all this shit hits the fan at this point, because they still think that Jerome Powell is going to be cutting rates at the end of the year, which I don't think is going to happen again, but the market has its own mindset. You just kind of have to understand what's going on here. But everything is running into these levels of resistance. I mean, Home Depot a little bit more sideways. This is a little bit more difficult because we had some storms and some stuff. Home Depot kind of trades off of more than just the technicals here. But it hit resistance levels, came back down. Now it's still within this trading range. Lows, still within this trading range. Nothing too crazy. Intel, within the normal trading range. Bank of America, within the normal trading range. Although this is impacted by interest rates, so it's a little bit different. JP Morgan going up a little bit higher. They've had a really good earnings support as far as they're concerned, making a bunch of money off these interest rates. But right now, running into a level of resistance and just chilling out. You're not seeing this flat out crash again. Chilling out as far as Visa is concerned. Macy's chilling out at some resistance levels. Coming back down a little bit more. Actually, this is a little more of an aggressive dip here. I think this may just be something to do with earnings coming up, maybe towards the end of the month, or maybe just retail fears coming down a little bit more. I would have to look at more stocks out there. Oil is a whole different ballgame. We don't have to talk about oil right now. But you even see Google over here after the stuff with the BART and ChatGPT. Definitely came back down quite a bit. And this thing was actually breaking out after the earnings broke out. Look at that nice solid move. Hit some resistance up here. Not crazy resistance, but this had specific news to it. So yeah, I would say a lot of stuff is at that level where people would want to be selling and not buying. People are only choosing to buy and keep these assets afloat because they're curious to see what's going to happen, or they're taking those bets to see what's going to happen on Tuesday. That's the really big move here. And hey, Ghost, let's see right here. Oh, hold on one second here. NVIDIA, okay, so I just talked about NVIDIA a second ago. There we go, okay. About just hitting the resistance level. All right, well, kind of the same thing here at this moment in time, but I know we had talked about this breakdown before. So NVIDIA just broke down, it looks like. Let me put the 4-hour chart here just so I can see. Let's do the magnets for a little bit more precision. Yeah, so NVIDIA did break down. I wouldn't. This is holding on the 4-hour chart. It's holding on the 20 moving average in the 4-hour chart. Again, I wouldn't expect some type of big, massive crash unless the CPI data is pretty poor. But without that CPI data coming in, I think it's bound to come back down here towards 195 levels, and then from there, test it out for a little bit longer. Then most likely break back down here to 170s. These are one of those assets that I don't think is going to do very well over the next few months, even though it had a really nice rally. This is one of those things where like I'd scale out, I'd be looking for puts, and I'd be looking to try to trade some of these bigger moves down, because whereas other stocks may go down or up like 1 to 3%, NVIDIA is not opposed to going up like 5% a day, down 10% a day. It's had some really wild swings. You can even see that for today or Friday, it went down 4.8%. Is a pretty crazy move, right? So I'm still of the mindset that I don't want to be doing puts on this. It just broke down. I'd hope that over the next week or so, we can come back down to 193. And then probably back down here to 170 is where I'd actually want to start buying this back up again. And this is assuming the economy is still solid. Everything is still okay, right? That's probably in that middle range there as far as the Fibonacci levels. Let me check this out. Yeah, right about here. Right about here. Maybe even actually down to the 165s. Yeah, back down here a little bit more. I'd probably go for this one. Yeah, this zone right here. If I could buy in this zone, I'd be much happier as far as NVIDIA is concerned. Now, let me get rid of a lot of this stuff very fast and just try one other thing here as far as NVIDIA is concerned. Oh, I didn't mean to exit out of that. I meant to hide it, but not get rid of it. Okay. Drawings. Let's go to the weekly here. I mean, this thing just had a monster pump. You might find some type of support right around here, 175. If you don't want to buy down here towards the 160s or so, you might be able to look for a support level right around there. Or maybe even if you're going off of this, maybe right over here around at 180. I just think because of the volatility, this thing has been known to come down really hard for weeks on end. I'd be more inclined to say it comes down below this level, but you might see a 1 to 2 day hold right here. Then we continue to go down. Let's look at this. I mean, NVIDIA, right? Solid breakout. That was a really nice move. Add on your trends, right? Target number 1, that's usually where I like to sell out of. Although I wouldn't have been holding options that long. That is some long-term options holding right there for over a month. And then you could possibly just do... Yeah, there it is. You're already hitting that resistance level right there. Yeah, this but we didn't even have to worry about it over here. We just blasted through. We held it for a little bit, came back down, broke out there, now hitting that next level of resistance. Looks like there was an issue right here though. I guess that's a week. This is a weekly chart, so probably we should be looking at the daily, but still. Yeah, a little bit more wavy right there, a little bit more wavy right now. At the end of the week, though, looks like we're just having issues closing above it. Let's go back over here. Let's add one more change to this one. Oh, this is the original, that's why. Shift. Going up against that 45, yeah. Breakout there, rejection there. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, okay. I mean, look at that. We have an opportunity to go back up here to 276 if everything works out very well for NVIDIA. Modded shift make any difference? Not really. Slightly downward. A little bit of a move here. Broke out, resistance, resistance, broke out, resistance, came back down, broke out. No resistance really over here, a little bit there, but that inside's not going to help us out too much. So yeah, I mean, I'm more bearish on NVIDIA just because, again, I just don't see how this rally is sustainable here. But if stuff goes well, this could have a really big move, which is why it's always so scary to play around with NVIDIA, because it does have these really massive swings here. But in the short term, it definitely has to come down a leg or two. With just if we just have to hope the CPI data will make it go down, right? See, and hey, Larry, your long S triple Q and your Apple puts. I think that's probably going to be a good bet because as far as Apple's concerned right now, it's on the verge of breaking down. Once it breaks down, it's most likely going to have a really bad day. That'd probably drag the entire market down, honestly, because it'd be breaking back down below that 200 and that 20, and probably come back down here to this short-term support level of 140, 142. Again, not the craziest of moves, but if you guys have options in those, oh boy, you know, it's going to pre-print and printing money for you as far as I'm concerned. And again, then we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. But that when that 20-day moving average breaks, when's the last time we kind of came up? Not something like that. It just more of a move like that. I wouldn't say it's going to be like a big old crash, but we're going to have a pretty nice general downward move as far as Apple's concerned. Assuming CPI numbers help us out there as well. See, no worries, Echo Pink. Happy to help you out. Some interesting news happened on the Enbridge 30% USA Pipelines earnings call. The big play is natural gas in the next 3 to 6 months, and China will make crude prices rise as well. We've talked about LNG for a while. Let me see. Yeah, liquefied natural gas. I'm trying to think of what exactly I was going to try to specify for you, but I don't know how to find the data in a short amount of time. Oh, I don't know why it's on cap. There has to be, okay, insights. No. I saw something where politicians were loading up on LNG stocks, and I wanted to find out exactly what those stocks are for you. So let me try to find it very fast. No. Let's just try Twitter here very fast. I'm not spelling anything right here. People are talking about it. Oh, this is from last year. Okay. Let's see. Latest? This is October 7th. Okay, it's not gonna. Natural gas stocks. The trying to see if they have a specific LNG in here or if it's just all like in the energy section. One of the UNG, Boyle. What's Boyle? Medicare. That's not what it's meant to be. Okay, UNG then. No, let's see. ETFs. I don't care about the ETFs, I just want to find certain stocks in them. Let me just Google it. For long. Yeah, stocks. Bloomberg for the win if they don't try to charge us. Oh, well, yeah, they're losers after all. To 11 best natural gas stocks to buy now. Story continues. Number 11 is AR. Let's see what AR is. Down a little bit here. It's under oil and gas. Then everything's under oil and gas. Okay. Charts have come down a lot. You can see this typical downtrend that we've been in. We just broke down actually below support here a while ago, whether we're talking about this trend line or not. Yeah. I'm guessing they have other stuff besides theirs. Besides that though too. Let me go down here very fast. They must have some oil in there. Natural gas and liquids company operating in Appalachian Basin. So let's do this. Committees. Environment, health, where's energy? Finance, small business. Okay. Let's open that up as another thing. Okay, sweet. Let's go to the house, natural resources. Where's that? There's another. Energy and commerce. Let's go here first. Okay. So we've seen some sells and some buys in here. Let's try to filter out some of the buys if we can. Oh, actually, no. Is there a way to filter out the buys? I don't know. I don't really use this too much. Okay. I bonds, AMD, no. So what's this one? No, I don't think that matters. Not too much here as far as the house is concerned. I'm looking for ExxonMobil, Schlumberger. Oh, Schlumberger. They're probably selling Schlumberger though, aren't they? They're buying Schlumberger. Oh, this is back in December though. Okay, that's why. Let's go over here. Electronic Arts, Formula One. No, I don't know what the freaking stocks were. I'll have to check it out and I'll get back to you guys as far as it's concerned. But something like AR, let's go through the list here. There you go. Hess Corporation right here. That's probably something you guys could look at. We can just take a look at the chart very fast. Hess. This one's been moving up pretty well though overall. Sustainability, top buyers. Does have a good dividend to it? Oh, small dividend. But still, this looks like something you guys may be interesting as well. Hess, Fang, Diamondback Energy, Climerix Energy, Apache Corporation, Pioneer Natural Resources. I had a bunch of this stuff, but this is because of the dividend. Is one of the 11 best natural gas stocks to buy now. The company is the largest area landholder in the Klein Shale. In January 2021, PXD completed its $4.5 billion acquisition of the independent oil and gas company Parsley Energy. Currently, they offer a dividend yield of 1.43% during the fourth quarter of 2020. The company reported a total profit of $30 million. It's not 1.43% dividend for PXD. PXD is or am I thinking about something else? Yeah, Pioneer. Yeah. The dividend here is 11.26%. But yeah. Anyway, PXD and a few other ones here. I don't know if it lets me go to page 2 or something, or I just got to keep on scrolling down. All right. Whatever. But yeah, natural gas. Let's just go into. The way you're looking at this right now is more of the fact that, hey, it's at a really low price. Historically, when you hit these really low prices, it's an opportunity for you guys to buy. You've seen it happen kind of over here before, where we actually went even lower and where we managed to rebound. Usually we have a rebound, but you're holding it for a while. There's no way to try to time options around the stocks when it comes to this, unless you're doing options for the long term here. You know, those are kind of expensive. But I would say as far as energy is concerned, it's not a bad idea to buy. Because we were talking about it back when over here last year. I was like, yeah, it's probably going to come back down here once the winter kind of cools off or warms up, excuse me, for the Europeans. But at this point, yeah, I would still say it's an okay opportunity to buy. And again, it's only like $8. It's not going to cost you too much there. But I don't see we're in some type of situation like this at this point in time, though, right? I mean, look at that chart. It normally comes down in the long run. But if you want to trade this for a quarter or two, like 4 to 8 months, that's what I'd be looking at. But once you buy it, you want to have a price target probably up here around the $21 range to do your first scale out. And after that, you'd probably only want to scale out around 25%. Your stop loss, or my stop loss, would probably be back around here on 15 bucks after we make it up that high, and then just kind of see how much it really wants to roar here over the next few quarters, maybe even a year plus, depending on your time frame and how much, how long you actually want to have this money tied up in this asset. But I would say it's one of those ones that seems fine. We've been talking about, I think, for the past like week or so, because people have been asking me like, hey, Michael, well, actually probably since the first, not like a couple weeks, but people have been like, hey, we're bottoming out a little bit. What do you think? It's an okay opportunity for me. I'd be buying this right now. In fact, I plan on buying some, I think, next week. I was just kind of waiting to see what happens to CPI, and I was waiting to see what happens if we actually do manage to get back above this 20. Typically, after these big drops, the 20 gives me a little bit more confidence. I can find a big bottom. Do we have a big bottom down here? No, not really. We haven't fallen down this much in a while. But usually when we start to flirt with the 20, I get more confident. You can see we go well down below it. We even go break down below the 20. I just feel more confident with it that we might have some type of short-term reversal here. Although we're looking for a longer term. But, golden cross maybe sometime in March. Could be pretty nice on the daily charts there. And hey, Joseph, not sure if you heard, but my home state of good old Montana passed the right to mine Bitcoin bill. Oh, being one of the first states to pass regulation protecting crypto and crypto miners' rights. That's pretty interesting because, I first learned about cryptocurrencies when I was living in Montana over in Bozeman. And I met at the Bozeman Library. Don't try to drink my tea. I met at the Bozeman Library to talk to people about crypto for the first time back in like 2016 or something like that, when I was first learning about it. And I was like, oh yeah, like this seems pretty interesting. So I do know there's a pretty avid crypto community in Montana. Even though it's very small, they got a lot of power. And from what I've seen, they have a lot of money and influence at the same time. And hey, Hannah, thank you very much for the super chat. Sorry, it took me a while to get down to your comment. I've seen a lot of people worrying about harder CPI. However, with the new way they're calculating inflation, won't that at least make it seem, at least on paper, that CPI is coming down? Yes. It's weird how they're trying to change it now. People always the government needs to just stick with a set of terms and stick with it. When you start messing with the dictionary, it freaks people out, including me. But yes, it should, in theory, cause CPI to be cooler. Let's kind of go over the reasons why. I think it's part of it is energy costs going back up here a little bit. Food prices kind of going up a little bit right now. Although most food prices, I think, are kind of moderating or even going down. But we've seen some kind of spikes in some certain commodities. Like, I guess the one that comes to mind for most people is eggs. People making egg jokes, like if you own eggs, you have some good money, right? Can we do this last week? This is a CNN article saying bad news, consumer prices actually climbed in December. I know that wasn't the best of news, but who cares? People are more concerned about, again, rate hikes, not so much the CPI. CPI is a short-term thing. Rate hikes are a longer-term thing as far as the market's concerned. This is from the Financial Express. Let's see if this article is anything. Valentine's Day U.S. CPI report likely to show broad-based price pressures. Bond yields have surged higher in recent days. That's for sure. Geez. As hot economic data and disciplined Federal Reserve commentary has supported the need for higher borrowing costs to contain inflation. While Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell appeared nonchalant, friendly at times and humorous during his speeches this week and last, he nonetheless reiterated the need for ongoing rate hikes and balance sheet reduction. He also left the door open for raising the pace of rate hikes if hot data calls for it. Last week's job number was a scorcher and reignites worries that inflation may tilt to the upside in the coming months. The dramatic loosening of financial conditions since October has fueled inflationary pressures in the short term. This Valentine's Day CPI report is likely to show broad-based price pressures across most of the economy, which of the following examples recently exhibits price increases. So, Food at home and dining establishments, oil and gasoline, used in new cars with price increases supported by the decline of financing costs during the past few months. Services which have experienced price increases. The labor-intensive nature of this sector is sensitive to high labor costs and has become increasingly problematic in the battle to curtail inflation. Services has been like one of the forefronts of this battle for a long time, though. And so we all know about oil, gasoline. We just talked about that. Food at home and dining establishments. I haven't seen food prices going up too much, but I may be wrong about that. Last time I looked was back in December. Maybe they're rising just because oil's going up, right? More gas, more expensive to transport the goods. Yeah, that's monthly. This is Breitbart, more of a firebrand website, if I would say so. I don't really look at this, but used car prices. So let me go over here very fast. Used car prices chart. Is there a good chart in here? Okay, this goes to December. This goes to last year, not December. Yeah, we haven't seen it. So apparently they have been going up, back up though. And that makes sense, right? You've seen rates come back down a little bit. So when they were raising interest rates like by 75, let's say you guys wanted to buy a house, instead of your normal $1,500 mortgage, you might have had to pay $2,000 a month just for the right to take out that loan, right? I'm guessing the same thing is happening with cars. As it becomes cheaper to overall buy a car, like your monthly rate is going to be a little bit cheaper. People can now afford it, and so they're starting to buy them up a little bit. And if you're a car dealer, why not charge a little bit more for that, for that then, right? Concerning, that probably will add to some inflationary pressures there, but I would say at this point, just like we talked about last week, I don't feel like it's going to be a complete disaster scorcher of a CPI number. If anything, I think it's just going to be kind of around the expectations, maybe a slight bit below it. If it is that, I'm hoping we can actually have a pretty nice pop going into next week. That'd be really nice. Now, if it is hotter, even with these new adjustments, I would say, Hannah, that means it's even worse inflation than we were probably expecting, and that'll probably dump the market again, good 5-10% over the next few weeks here as everybody freaks out, because we really don't have much other news coming out from the rate hikes or CPI for probably like a whole another month and a half, 2 months at this point, right? See, yeah, Ghost, for NVIDIA, puts are definitely going to be better than calls, if you ask me. Just be aware of what happens during CPI data. Hopefully the CPI will be able to confirm a lot of your guys' opinions on the downward or upward movements of charts, and then you guys can just catch on to that run whenever it happens. And hey, Larry, Boral is what I'm long, but I would like to know more. Yeah, let's go in here, because I'm looking at the chart and the company here. I was looking at it, but I didn't know what the heck Boral was. No, wait. Yeah, I was typing Boral wrong. Yep, that was me. That explains it. That explains why I was messing up here. Okay. Well, this kind of matches up with the natural gas chart we were just looking at a few seconds ago. These are pro shares, so they're not going to be like your typical earnings and stuff like that. Well, let's see. So is it going to let me do it? No, I guess there's no. I want to see what this is made up of here, pretty much. It's up 11%. There are options on this. That could be pretty fun. as far as that. Okay, I have to go to Yahoo. Does Bloomberg just not have? Okay, this might be the best website to actually look it up, the information on it. No, I guess not. I guess we got to go all the way to ProShares. Okay. Yes, your ETFs. Okay, search bar. Okay, yeah, search better work here. Please, please, please. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we can see what actually makes up this freaking ETF. This is what I'm always looking for, because within this, sure, you can make some good money, but if you can really pinpoint what's really driving the growth, that's where you can do have a lot of fun with it. More risk, but more fun. So month-end total returns as of 12/31/22. Definitely don't hold this for the long term. Everything about this says to be careful about it. This is really all the holdings. So let's see. Just futures, yeah. That's why it keeps on going down. So this isn't your typical ETF then. It is a typical ETF, but not the one I'm looking for that actually holds assets. Like, you know, some of the ARK Invest ones hold Apple, Tesla, Microsoft. Like, it's not going to be holding stuff like that. As of 2/10, so that, yeah, that's recent. This one yesterday. So that means this is really going along with the price action of the actual UNG here. So I would say this is a steady one to be in. I don't think there's a dividend in this one. I don't remember seeing one here. No dividend. Okay, yeah. It's 95% below the 52-week high, so it definitely has come down a lot. Then as far as a technical perspective here, then, really, you're just trading it just like natural gas. Let's do the weekly. Again, we've hit some lows. This has actually gone down a little bit more than what you might think. Definitely more volatility, though, when you consider like some of these huge waves that we've seen. I would still say, yeah, I would dollar cost average my way into this up to the amount of money you want to buy. I would I would probably say you'd probably want to put money in here at least every 3 days. At least I would probably say every other day. Just pop in like 50 bucks in here until you reach your goal. Maybe a couple $100 in, depending on how much you want to invest into this one. This is cheaper than UNG, so you should be able to buy more shares, thereby make more profit. So that's kind of nice as well. Price targets for me would probably be around 60 bucks as far as this one's concerned. Way up here, longer term hold, multi-quarter hold, but I still think you'd have an opportunity here. LNG ETFs. Okay, we can get rid of that stuff now. Get rid of this stuff now. Okay. Seeking alpha. There we go. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. UNG. We talk about Boyle. UNL. Natural gas fund. This is at the same chart. A little bit more expensive. Still kind of bottoming out too. Gauze. Bottoming out as well, kind of expensive. So same with options here. Then we got cold. Ultra short Bloomberg natural gas. This is definitely not what you want to be in at this point in time, unless you want to short the short. You want to buy puts on this and just hope it goes down, but I don't even know what the options market would look like for something like this. Everything's probably good except for this one right here, because I'm more bullish on LNG than I am bearish, right? Let's see. Yeah, it should be fine. As far as I look at those though, all the charts, it just seems like it'd be kind of like wasteful not to at least try to make some money off of this, especially because we've been hearing more and more rumbles, and I've been hearing about politicians going into LNG as well. So maybe what I can do here is UNG. Anybody buying this? No, nobody's buying UNG. Oil, not Noil. Boil. No Boil. Now, I gotta find out what they were buying. Usually these guys have a Twitter page, don't they? No, it's going to be too long to actually go through all those. I would still say long term, though. LNG seems like a profitable bet, at least at this point in time. There you go. Hey, Ghost, what are LNG stocks? Oh, it's just stocks tied up with LNG, liquid natural gas. LNG is just, it's sold as this like very clean energy source. There's been a huge battle out here in Washington State on whether or not to actually have an LNG plant. I think we voted it down like 5 times or something, but I think they're moving it to an old nuclear power plant or something. But here, it's liquefied natural gas, but I'm sure there's some like really basic one. Yeah, this is from the government. Let's see. So liquefied natural gas is a natural gas that has been cooled to a liquid state at around negative 260 degrees Fahrenheit for shipping and storage. The volume of natural gas in its liquid state is about 600 times smaller than its volume in its gaseous state. That means you can transport more of it, basically. So it's easier to transport once you get it cooled down, and you use it for energy, right? Trade. Anything else here that's no, not much. Yeah, so energy source, you think about it as an energy source. We don't really use it too much. We use quite a bit of it, but really we've been producing a lot because we were sending it over to Europe, who didn't really make enough of it. When Bitcoin completes the death cross on the weekly, what stock should I look out to place puts? I would say Coinbase. Coinbase rose up way too much. Coinbase needs to come down. Careful with the implied volatility for Coinbase, though. It might be a little bit higher at this point just because since it did come up so much, I'm pretty sure it's already crashing. If Bitcoin had a little bit of a dump on Friday, I'm sure Coinbase came down quite a bit. Oh, not Binance Coin, just Coin. Yep, there you go. Ah, yeah, it's already been coming down, hasn't it? I would still say this thing can run back down here to 47 bucks. Just hopefully the implied volatility isn't above like 50, 60%. If it is, it may be a little bit too risky. Unless you're day trading this sucker, day trading would probably be a good opportunity because the last few days, down, 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 down. I would trade this after CPI report though, or as the CPI report's coming out, whatever that news is, trade those options right there because like hand on the buy button, for puts or calls. And if it's good, pop, buy. If it's bad, sell. Play this, and then you could probably even hold it for another day afterwards if you really wanted to, because Bitcoin's going to be breaking down and taking those hits, and that'll drag down Coinbase a lot more than you would think. 4-hour chart holding up against support, so tomorrow might be a little bit more of a nuanced day, or Monday might be more nuanced. And then coming into Tuesday, we probably should start off the day really bad, and then as CPI numbers come in, we rebound to break, to go positive for the day. or we continue just going down. I would say, to me, it seems like it'd probably be going down. Mike's shirt makes me yearn for Island time and reggae. I almost want to wear this shirt today because this shirt has green, and I have a green screen behind me, so I thought it might actually mess it up a little bit. And there's a little bit of fuzziness around it, if you guys can see, but it's not too bad. I have a lot of Hawaiian shirts. I just don't get an opportunity to wear them because it's like cold and rainy and wintry out here in Washington right now. Not the best time of year for the good old summer shirts and stuff like that. There you go. Here's Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. We're hoping to make a pretty big move here pretty soon. Is the Super Bowl a potential pump for crypto? Sorry for already addressed. Hey, Kilo. I would say it's not too much of a pump at this point in time. Really, the big thing that you want to be looking for at this point. Sorry, Loki tore apart something out of my microphone. My headphones. There you go. I would say at this point, no, not too much in my opinion. I would say, dude, you are just trying to like knock over stuff. You can't see him, but he's there. Yeah. Really, if you wanted to gamble with some stocks or assets this week, it really would be around like I'm forgetting what it's called. DraftKings, MGMs, Sands, stuff like that. Perhaps you could see some big moves coming in, but I don't know what those moves would be tied to. Like, what would make Bitcoin go up? The Chiefs winning or the Eagles winning? For me, I'd probably say if the Chiefs win, we have a red day. If the Eagles win, we have a green day, because green and red, there's no math, there's no science between it. It's just having fun. But I really don't know if there's really any like big things that are gonna in the crypto world that's gonna affect the Super Bowl, or excuse me, the other way around, the big Super Bowl things that are actually gonna affect crypto, unless there's some cryptocurrency commercial. And the last cryptocurrency commercial I remember was from FTX, and boy oh boy has times changed from that last Super Bowl. Right. Hey Cape Cod, if anything, I would just say volatility should be lower. There shouldn't be much going on, at least when America is trading in a wake. I would say once Asia wakes up, Europe is up, that's where you can see more volatility. Maybe there's going to be a big move during that time because nobody's going to be at their computers and they're going to try to attack a bunch of stop losses. I would say that could be an opportunity for bears. Bulls, I don't know how many people are... I don't see how many bulls are going to be going after shorts, because at this point, the shorts, they entered back in here, up here at these resistance levels. They really have no reason to short right here. So I don't really think there's any big squeeze that would happen. I think if we popped, the shorts would just bring us back down really fast and really hard, and be a miserable experience for a lot of people out there. Maybe Elon will eat a Happy Meal paid for with Doge or something. That'd be pretty nice, but that would most likely just affect Dogecoin right there. And hey, Larry, gush, but it's oil and LNG. I mean, I still think I'm positive on oil. I mean, oil's at the top of that range here right now, but oil is still a pretty decent long-term hold if you ask me. It's only when the economy really starts to show some signs of weakness, I start to get more concerned. But even then, that OPEC, they're going to try to keep oil prices relatively within that $70 to $80 range. And to the most part, they've kept their word, and they've only let it go maybe to 69 or maybe up to 82. It's been in that range here. So until they start to falter on their plan here, I'm kind of just holding oil, taking my dividends, and being very, very happy with it. I mean, my dividends are nice. The oil plays I'm in are nice. And I'm happy. Like, I didn't even expect this second wind to come around. And that's why I sold a lot of my low dividend assets. And I told you guys well in advance, hey, I'm selling these. I'm selling like the Zoms, the Chevrons. My gosh, they're like pretty much going to all-time highs now. I'm like, oh man, I didn't see that coming by a mile. But what I did hold is my longer-term high dividend plays. Those are still doing very well, but those are more of dividend generating, so I can I use them to either pay for stuff or I just reinvest them. Like I'm going to Vegas. I'm using one of my dividend checks to go to Vegas. Not all of it, I guess, but what do you call, yeah, most of it's going back to being reinvested. But, the stuff you can do with dividend checks is pretty nice. I first learned about dividends because everybody in my family has worked for Boeing in the past, and Boeing used to have a pretty nice dividend. Like my grandparents used to get paid like $1,000, $2,000 in dividends every quarter, which is like they had a lot of shares because they worked there for like 40 years. But now, now they don't even have dividends anymore. If you go to the Boeing chart, you'll actually see the day the dividends stopped. It was, or the quarter where there was no more dividends, I should say. Stock up on tinfoil and learn to make hats. The funny business over the U.S. skies hasn't stopped 4 occasions and counting. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of things happening over the last few hours as far as us, and Canada just like shooting down balloons left and right. I don't know what the heck is going on at this point. I think because we failed at stopping the first balloon and Biden kind of hesitated a little bit there and like not shooting it over the, Alaskan, the sea outside of Alaska. I think China felt emboldened and they're just poking the bear. But again, America is usually a sleeping bear when it comes to other great powers. We don't really mess with China too much. We don't really mess with Russia too much unless they do something really out of line. Russia's doing something really out of line, so we did more economic sanctions and arming Ukraine, but our military is not really involved over there too much. And then we got China. We're kind of just tit for tat with China economic stuff, and China likes to embarrass us as much as possible. Why not embarrass this political leader who's our adversary? And they got away with it, but now we're just shooting down the balloons left and right. I think they're going to stop eventually. At least I would hope they would, right? I don't see any point for them to keep on sending balloons over. That's a waste of money at a certain point. Unless we're able to safely get a balloon down to the ground, we should fly over Winnie the Pooh balloon over China. Oh, that'd be great. Winnie the Pooh balloon over China? That'd be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Tell me that wouldn't be fantastic. Winnie the Pooh over China? It'd be censored, but it would be awesome. Canada and Montana say we had some much welcome sunshine. I wish. It's 43 degrees. Tomorrow it's gonna be oh, how do I do this 10-day forecast? Oh no, it was right there. Okay, it's just on the top right here. So tomorrow it's going to be raining in 48, Monday 47, Tuesday 43, Wednesday 46, 42, 46. So like 40s, not like terrible, but definitely not like warm, right? Looks like Los Angeles is around 50 right now, so they're not doing much better. New York is 38, Washington, D.C., I'm guessing, yeah, it's 41. Chicago is 36, Dallas is 43. Everybody's just kind of cold right now. I understand it. But I would like some sun. Even if it's cold, I would like some sun. I haven't been able to get much sun here. And it was like a tad bit of sun in the morning, and then it just went cloudy. Because what I want to do is I want to let Loki play with some water. He hasn't had a chance to play with water in a while. Like, we still have those faucet covers on the outside the house. So Loki tried to bite it off, so I had to really tighten it on there. But yeah, I just want some sun. I don't really care about the heat so much now, but some sun would be awesome. Welcome sunshine in Mud Duck, Oregon. Oh yeah, I haven't been down to Oregon in a few months now. I need to go back down there. I like visiting Portland to go get some food down there. Usually I see a friend every now and again. I just don't go downtown Portland anymore. But Oregon is beautiful. It's not like I normally don't try to go to Portland. But like I used to like Portland. Now it's kind of crazy. But I like the city of Portland, or at least what it used to be, right? They still have a lot of good restaurants, a lot of cool places to vibe and chill and stuff like that. Like Portland has a lot of homeless now, same as Seattle, right? But like outside of Portland, like all like the coastline of Oregon, it's absolutely beautiful. I love Oregon's coastline. A lot of fog, but it's like your typical like northwestern towns and stuff like that, like we have up here. But up here, whenever I go to the West Coast, like there was the beach, Ocean Shores. I don't even go to the beach because there's too many people there anymore. I go to this place called Ruby Beach where there's tons of people. Or not people, but it's like more spread out, like Ruby Beach, Washington. I go to this place. Like I literally have a picture in this exact spot on my phone somewhere. I have a lot of pictures with me at this beach. Maps. So I'm like way down here. Travel to 3 hours over here. It's like 3.5 hours maybe. Nice little beach. Ruby Beach. Yeah. Well, basically, they don't have large pictures here for some reason. But yeah, it's a very chill, nice area. You could really wander around. Loki likes going out there. It's really, really fun. You see people there, people over there. It's just a really chill place to go. What are you doing? No. Loki was over here trying to bite this wire. There you go. But yeah, it's a pretty chill time. Let's go over here very fast. Look for, there you go, Facebook. But if you guys are looking for something to trade this week that's maybe a little bit more overbought, I would say Facebook is definitely going to be one of your plays. I want to short this sucker. I want to buy like 160 puts or 165 puts. And for this Friday, and I want to trade them. I want to day trade them probably. Or do at least a 24-hour trade until like Tuesday when the CPI data comes out. I was looking at the 15-minute chart here, and we're just constantly breaking down and breaking down and breaking down. I wanted to take an opportunity to open up some puts here Friday, but I missed my chance because I was busy. The 1-hour chart here looks like it's going down pretty hard as well. So if you guys are looking for something to kind of do some day trades on, to me it really feels like Facebook would be the thing. To me, though, it's really day trading, and if you want to get more aggressive, you can try to hold it up to CPI data. Holding it through CPI data for me is a little too wild, just because, again, you are seeing some indexes about to hit some support levels, so I think Facebook might hit some support, like maybe right down here at around 170 at the $4 loss. Not the end of the world here, but I don't want to be caught with my options getting too aggressive here, right? Excuse me, guys. Whoosh. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a really fun spot. I go everywhere in Washington, like here. I'll start off with Seattle. Google Maps Seattle. Let's get at it now. Okay. So I'm down here, like in the Puyallup area. Puyallup, Graham, a lot more down here, I guess. But, you know, I'm within like a 45-minute drive of Mount Rainier, so I don't know. I don't go to any of these peaks. I go to just Paradise. Like the area is literally called Paradise. Where's Paradise at? Paradise, Spray Falls, yes. Sometimes you could do a full drive around the mountain, which is pretty nice. But where's Paradise? I'm probably looking up too high of the mountain. Paradise. There you go. Oh yeah, I was in the hole. Looking deep into the mountain like I'm up there hiking. But yeah, this is up here in the mountain. I got a picture of Loki. The picture of Loki I have, remember I took this, I showed you guys this picture a while ago. It's somewhere in here. Find it. This one right here. This was up. You can see like some trees in the background and foggy. This was up at that mountain over there. But this was when Loki was really, really tiny. Dogs aren't allowed to go on the trails up here, so we just kind of walked around and chilled out for a little bit. It was me and my sister that went over there. But you got a whole bunch of nice little lakes over here for fishing. I like to go over here to Rife Lake. And then you got another lake over here. No, not Lake Alder. There's another one. Capowison. It's smaller. Yeah, Capowison over here. Capow. I call it Lake Capow, but it is Lake Capowison. But I got the mountains over here. You got Capital State Forest. This is down by Olympia. Olympia is right here, the state capital. This is where I normally go hunting. And then up here, Olympic National Forest. This is about a 2-hour drive. And then up here, if you want to drive like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, something like that. This is Forks. This is where Twilight is from. They literally have the Twilight Museum. Twilight tours, right? Does anybody want to partake in a Twilight tours? The city of Forks welcomes you. My friends go bear hunting here quite a bit. Even I went bear hunting here a couple years ago now, I think. But yeah, old cars, really chill small town. Twilight Central, the best selection of Twilight merchandise in town. Like, the population is small, but like, it's Twilight. Everything here, like they got pictures of that one dude, pictures of that one girl, pictures of that one vampire dude as well. The werewolf dude. I don't know their names, But they got everything you would want to see about Twilight there. It's pretty darn crazy. And hey, Bite, for good evening. You sure that's not smoke? We're known for that. We don't have the summer anymore. We have the fire season, the smoke season. No, it was just fog. It was a cold day. I don't think we had too much smoke this past year, did we? I don't remember. I know this year we had a lot of drought. I know we had a little bit of smoke, but it wasn't as bad as that year where like back when I remember I told you guys I used to live in this apartment building downtown Tacoma. So I used to live in this building right here. And, you know, so what happens is the breeze comes from the water and it's very, very nice. So I usually keep my windows open. Well, I was working one day and I had my windows open and it was kind of smoky. All of a sudden, a huge waft of smoke came into my window and basically it set off all my fire alarms. And so I had to fan on my fire alarms, but then somebody else in the building basically wasn't at home and the windows are open. So it caused the entire building's fire alarm to go off, and we all had to walk outside until the fire department got there and just said, hey, there's no fire. It's just the smoke from outside. And they closed the lady's window, and they basically said, nobody open up your windows. And they said they'd been dealing with the thing all day. It was absolutely wild. And just imagine opening your window, and the smoke is so thick outside, it causes your smoke alarm to go off. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Luckily, the fire department is like right downtown here. They have like they have the fire engines where they have the person in the back driving and the person in the front driving. I don't know where it is over here, but somewhere over here. But yeah, rough spot. Because Tacoma is like a very small city. It's just like complete suburbs and suburbs and suburbs. And you got some schools and stuff. I have friends that live over here. My sister almost went to this school, Annie, right? This is like a little school in the middle of the area, but this is a dormitory school. It's really wild. But yeah, it's that smoke, the smoke, it's really, really bad these days. Back over here, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's showing a little bit of weakness, guys, but not too much. I'm kind of curious to see so far what are these altcoins showing us right now. Still showing some strength, still trying to hold up right now. Still holding up, yeah. Okay, they're still holding up, guys. We're still seeing some support levels managing to hold. Yeah, we're fine here. 15-minute chart. There we go. And hey, Ghost, did you hear the rumor that Robinhood is having issues? I did not hear that rumor. Let me type it up very fast and see if I can find out what's going on with it. But no, I haven't heard anything about it. I hope it's not. Like, what I hate about all this stuff is you guys know I've been taking a long time to build these tutorials and stuff like this. Oh, I don't care about the actual Robinhood website. But like, I had to go back into my tutorial a while ago and cut out Voyager out of the and BlockFi out of potential like companies that you guys should be investing with. And it's absolutely wild that like so many companies went bankrupt during this crash event, you know, last year. Robinhood went dismissal of shareholder lawsuit over 2021 IPO. Robinhood's under attack. Here's what investors need to know. This is the Motley Fool. Let's see if it'll let us read it. So, online brokerage markets, Robinhood markets, has seen no shortage of headlines and controversy since it burst onto the scene in 2015, offering, what's the payment for order flow being targeted? The reason Robinhood is able to offer free trades to retail investors is because of the payment for order flow, which is the key part. Yes, okay. What's the problem? Okay, so this must be the meat here. So companies like Citadel make money by selling the orders they get from brokerages like Robinhood to investors, ideally at a profit. This is called the bid-ask spread, and why it may only be for a couple of pennies per share at a time. But keep in mind that Citadel is doing this through high-frequency trading and in huge volumes. The more volume, the more profits. Market makers can get high bid-ask spreads on options orders, so these are more profitable for players like Robinhood and Citadel. But critics would argue that this very argument also incentivizes these firms to encourage retail traders to trade more often and make riskier options bets, even though they may not be in the customer's best interest. Oh, okay, I see right here. This is it. So the big change the SEC is proposing is that instead of order flow being sent to a single wholesaler of choice, orders would be sent to auctions where market maker offerings the best price for the trade highest for sellers and lowest for buyers would win the bid. Now online brokers must perform reasonable diligence on behalf of their customers to make sure they are getting the best deal. But SEC Chair Gary Gensler believes payment for order flow creates a conflict of interest. Auctions would likely hurt the bid-ask spreads of market makers. The SEC believes that more competition for order flow could help retail investors and save an additional $1.5 billion a year by getting better prices on their orders. Huh. This looks like it's from CNBC. We can watch this right here. No, this is a firm holdings. That's nothing to do with this. That could be it. I don't know if there's anything else there, Ghost. A glitch in Robinhood let system users place bets that cost the company $57 million in one day. That was on the earnings call. I'll remember that. Let's see. Robinhood board approved plan to buy back Sam Bankman-Fried's $578 million stake. Robinhood needs more arrows to fire. I don't know. What are the rumors? Partnership plan with Elon Musk's Twitter. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see that. Robinhood's back at SEC. Yeah, I don't see many problems here, but I would have to check it out. Hold on, let me down like that song. But let me know if you've heard anything about him. Let's see. Oh, I see the edge of bankruptcy. I don't know, like, if they're buying back much stock, I believe their investors would be able to help them out. So if we go over here to, do I have Finviz still open? No. So we know they're not making them money. We know that they are cutting staff. Has there been much selling so far? There's actually been quite a bit of selling, which is pretty interesting here, even like going into this negative cycle that we've seen. So they've gotten more accounts funded. That's good. Active users are down though. 62 billion under custody, net deposits 30%. That's not bad. Net loss, they lost 166 million. That's gonna be a big loss when they have to buy back those shares from Sam Bankman-Fried or the FTX, I guess. Crypto wallet coin drops, yeah. Higher yield. Their growth has just like really stopped, hasn't it? Monthly active users continue to go down. I don't see this slowing down here. Assets under custody decreased 4% to 60 billion. Still going down a little bit here. So people sold and they're pretty much just holding more cash is what they're saying here, which definitely makes sense if you've seen the market. Funny enough, though, this is the time you should have been buying up, I guess, because we had the lows in October. So pretty much most investors on Robinhood panic sold. Excuse me, guys. Whoosh. Net deposits. So people were putting more money in there in Q4. People were putting more money in there. That's good. compared to like what they were doing in Q3. You know, that kind of makes sense when you think about Q3, how everything was just going down, higher inflation, everybody was just trying to figure out how to put food on the table. Average revenue per user, they're making more money off the people. That's pretty interesting, probably because they've been having all these extra products, right? Net revenues continue to get higher. They are still making money after all this. That's kind of nice to see. Other revenues went up a little bit more. Net interest revenues, that's interesting. That went up a lot. But transactions, so less trading revenue, okay, but more net interest revenues. That's interesting. Transaction revenue down a little bit. Net interest revenues up 630% sequentially. Cash sweep, interest on segregated cash and cash equivalents and deposits, interest on investments in corporate cash, margin interest. So basically what they're doing with your money as you hold it in their accounts, they've been making money off of that because everybody sold and now they have a whole bunch more cash to do investments with. Yeah, that makes sense. Low risk investments, I would say. Margin interest, securities lending. Oops. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting some wire by my feet. Operating expenses. They're cutting revenue. They're cutting expenses. That's really good. What's this 84 jump though? Brokerage and transactions. Oh, that's that 57 million error that we were hearing about. So that's what added to this huge expense right here. So, you know, they are cutting expenses quite drastically. So if you take away that 57 million error, they really went from 425 million all the way down to like $320 million. That's 20-something million. Yeah, that's not too bad. They're really cutting down to like back where it was in before COVID, right? Or during COVID, I would say actually, yeah, 2020, yeah, Q4 2020. So they're definitely bringing expenses down. Net loss. Basically losing less money. Let's see. I mean, they're going in the right direction on a lot of indicators here, but it just seems like they need more users and they need more users to actually be trading. And this isn't really the environment where people want to be trading all the time, if that makes sense. Usually they're just holding some assets and waiting, or just holding cash and waiting and earning some money for just holding their cash in Robinhood, right? They are limiting withdrawals? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. Hey, Kilo, does Loki own any Doge? Loki does not own any Doge. Loki's never, I don't even think Loki has ever met a Shiba Inu dog out there before. I do have a, can you guys even see this? Dogecoin right here. Somebody gave this to me as a gift a couple years ago, and I still have it on my desk for Dogecoin. There we go. But I still have it. I've had this thing for a while. I still have never taken out the plastic though. It's still just as shiny as the time I got it. Although, the heck? Oh yeah, I was working with super glue earlier. Yeah. But yeah, I still have that Dogecoin. Suppose squeeze coming on AMC with all the naked shorts needing to cover, we will see. I mean, if anything's gonna make it up, it'll be the CPI data report and stuff. If you want to go with AMC though, the thing about it is the options are just so expensive. So let's go back over here to Whale Stream. Let's just refresh this actually. Actually, that doesn't really refresh it. It just takes us back. Yeah. Reset. AMC. So these are some of the calls, the stuff we saw on Friday. One big short for $6 here. I don't know if this was in the money or not, though. I don't know the actual price of AMC. No, that's that's already in the money there. So somebody wants to own more shorts on this. That's pretty much what they're doing. So it's 490. Exit, 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 exit. There you go. Let's move that over there. I want to see what they're buying out of the money. Out of the money. So we have a strike of $7 that costs 63 cents, 317. So that's this Friday. This Friday, a $6 one again, 70. That's not too bad. A few puts here on $4, and again the price is actually at $4.90. So people are definitely taking their bets right now. Call $10, 60. Put $4. Wow, yeah, $4 aggressive. This is very aggressive right here. This isn't the way they bought it was aggressive. This doesn't mean that this is an aggressive place. Just clarify. 12 cents though for $4. Wow. 5.50, 25 cents. This is for this Friday. Yeah, everything's for this Friday. I mean, if you want to go big or go home, I guess really it'd be around the $6 to $7 spot. Those would be really cheap calls. I'd probably say just go for 10 up here, 60. Why are these so expensive? It must just be because they're $10. The implied volatility on this must just be freaking insane. Yeah. Can you guys see this right here? Yeah, 235%. You want to stay away from. Oh my, all they've implied. Oh my gosh. Basically, it just means like all this stuff is so overvalued. Everything is this high implied volatility. Let's go to historical flow. The implied volatility is so high on all of this. So let's go. Okay, premium out of the money calls for the whole of last week. $5 strike. That's already in the money. They bought this on the 9th, so that was right here. So they already made some good money off of this. Did this already expire? You said no, it's for next week. Look at this. So they bought it at a value of $2.34. It's up to $2.46. You can see how much the price of the stock has come down on the bottom right here, right? Way down here. And the reason it hasn't moved up so much is that implied volatility that we were talking about. 263%, oh my gosh. This is for 2024, don't have to worry about it. 2024, don't worry about it. 317, that's a month out. We don't got to worry about that. 224, $3. Wow, that's a nickel. Yeah, look at this one too. I mean, people are making some really aggressive bets as far as AMC. You see a lot more on the downward side, though. A lot more on the downward side. Some of these are 2024, so ignore those. This is in March. 317, that's a while away, too. 217 here. This is what we're looking for. $4. Yeah, 11 cents. My gosh. I mean, people are really just betting on a big old crash here. 317 for the call. 210, that expired Friday. Don't got to worry about that. What are the calls doing? 210, we need 217. 217. $7, here's one. 32,000, yeah, wow. 217, here's another one. 550. I mean, this is just gonna be a wild one. Oh, it brings it up on TradingView for you? That's pretty chill. That's pretty cool there, yeah. That's just going to be a wild ride. You got to hold it through CPI if you want to buy. You just got to hold it through there. But definitely looks like it could be pretty fun to play around with for sure. Well, something's going to happen definitely. T-Bone True Toy after the Super Bowl. Real T-Bone next week. Oh, that sounds like it'd be really good. I know for Loki, he's been. Well, I got a whole bunch of treats for him, but he's been eating duck jerky that I made. He's been loving it, just loving it. He hasn't been getting any treats lately though. But like today, he got one treat, and that's because we picked up my mom from dialysis, and she had a treat for him because he was in the car. But I haven't given him a treat again. He ate a whole loaf of bread. Remember, I had that those pictures of the bread from yesterday. I don't know if I still have them downloaded or not. No, I never downloaded them. They're in my email. Hold on. And hey, Kilo, thank you very much for the Loki Doge fund. I'll buy him a couple Doge coins just to see what happens with it. Especially since my BGB, remember I was telling you guys about BGB? My BGB freaking exploded again. BGB. Not Blackstone, even though I do own Blackstone. Yeah, it just kind of keeps on going up. So I'm going to keep on holding this sucker. I'm glad I bought back in. Yesterday when I was talking to you guys about this, I was like, was this Friday? Yeah, Friday. No, it must have been Thursday then. Yeah, because Thursday I was telling you guys, yeah, I bought it back around 26.5 right down here, and I was like, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should have waited for it to drop down a little bit lower, but I was just afraid it might take off without me. And boom, I woke up this morning and I was like, holy shit. So this one's definitely continuing to pop. I don't know when I'm going to sell this again. This thing is just kind of gone parabolic-y now. So I'm kind of just patiently waiting this out, I guess. Just patiently waiting this one out. But let me go back over here to... See, Loki heard us talking about him, so he just came back over here. Loki. Let's see. Yeah. So imagine like a whole loaf of this. He ate everything but like this last little third on the top over here. He ate the whole thing. And I was like, dude, what is going on with you? Like, he stole it all. Yeah, you take the bread? Yeah, you took the bread. Booga, booga, booga. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. He is on a timeout as far as treats are concerned. A big timeout. Although this morning, this is the sandwich I made the other day, but I made another sandwich like this. But it was a breakfast sandwich. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There we go. And there we go, too, as well. There you go. Thanks, Kilo. I really do appreciate it. And Loki appreciates this as well. I don't have any treats on the table because he's in trouble, but otherwise I would give him a treat. He has stuff upstairs. Loki, you want to say hi? Come on. Yep. Don't take the wire. Can you see him? Oh, I don't know if you can. I got my YouTube thing on top. There you go. He doesn't bark, so I know. We'll stop going for the wires. He's literally biting my ring and my watch, but it's okay. Uppy do. Uppy daisy. He scared himself because he ran into the desk. Upsy daisy. Yeah, there you go. Up. Up. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. I don't know if you guys... Oh, yeah, you can see him in there. You're in a biting mood right now. No biting. No. See, if you say no, he's like, you'll find you don't want to play with me after all. He's very manipulative. He learned it from being my mother to try to get her to pet him because my mom's like slightly allergic to Loki. And so she only pets him in rare circumstances. So what he does is he walks up to her when she's in bed and then he'll just sit next to her and like do the nose nudge to the thigh. And then he'll just rest his head on top and he'll just look at her until she's like, ah. And then, you know, when I see her, I'll go get her a rag so she can wash her hands off so she doesn't like sneeze or cough or anything like that. But, yeah, what do you call? They've had a strained relationship. She didn't like Loki when I first got him. Because she thought he was going to be like a really aggressive German Shepherd. Like, she was going to, you know, he was going to bite everybody and be too hard to handle. Dude, this guy is like a bundle of love over here. The only person he's ever bitten was my sister when he was like 9 weeks old, and she gave him a treat and he clamped down on her hand when she gave him the treat. She was like, he just wouldn't let go. And then, you know, I just told him to, I just opened up his mouth and he was fine. But that's the only time he's ever bitten anybody. Now coyotes, he's bitten a few coyotes. He's killed a rabbit, but never harmed a person. He usually just goes up to them and expects pets. He's a pretty spoiled dog. See? And thanks, Kilo. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, he's cute. Like, he's over here right now underneath the desk just looking at me because he knows I'm about to take him outside. But okay, everybody, that's pretty much the setups I see right now. A lot of it has to do with the overall markets just hitting these levels of resistance and taking slight dips back down. I'm not really concerned, everybody. I'll be more concerned if the CPI data is just very, very bad. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, all of these big levels we've made over the past few weeks, we're definitely going to come back down to somewhat of a more neutral zone. For the Bitcoin, it may be somewhere around like $18,000, maybe even as low as like $17,000. For other assets out there, it's just taking that next step back down. I'm not too worried about it, everybody, but I don't think it's really a time for me right now to be panic selling or do anything crazy. We've had a nice rally. We're coming back down a little bit. This death cross concerns me, but I'm really hoping that next week we're going to try to go more sideways here, especially if we have the CPI data. But again, if the CPI data doesn't hold, that's where we start to hit more of those snags. And those snags are going to be, taking us down that next level, probably back down to this range over here again. At the high end, 20,500. I think we're going to easily break down below that, though. Really taking us back down here to the 18,000, $18,000 level at least. Okay, so. Hope you guys all had a good day. I enjoyed talking with you guys, and make sure to rewatch this if you guys want any specifics as far as Apple, Nvidia, and Target, and some of the other ones we talked about, okay? LNG for the win, probably, if you guys want to be buying it, though. UNG, and the other one we talked about was Boyle. All right? Thanks, everybody. Loki says goodbye as well.